At first, they love you. You're useful, smart, obedient. You make the system run smoother. They praise you, promote you, label you an asset. But the second you stop playing the game and start thinking for yourself, you become a problem, a glitch, an anomaly. The Sigma male doesn't crash the system by force. He does it by being real in a world built on performance. He doesn't scream rebellion. He simply refuses to conform. And that refusal exposes everything fake, fragile, and broken around him. He's not loud. He's undeniable. And that makes him dangerous. Here are 10 savage reasons why Sigma males shift from being praised as assets to feared as anomalies, and why the system can't handle men who see through the illusion. 1. He follows purpose, not protocol. The system is built on protocol standard paths, templated lives, predictable roles. But the Sigma doesn't bend to instructions written by people who traded their soul for structure. He follows purpose, not deadlines, not policies, not groupthink. At first, they admire his initiative. You're a leader, they say. You think outside the box. But when he starts rejecting the box entirely, when he starts questioning the purpose of the task itself, that's when the praise turns to panic. The Sigma isn't trying to be difficult. He's trying to be aligned. But the system doesn't want alignment. It wants obedience. And the moment he chooses purpose over protocol, he becomes unpredictable. That makes him dangerous. 2. He refuses to be owned by titles. Manager, director, boyfriend, provider. These titles are currencies of the system. They come with perks and invisible chains. But the Sigma male doesn't wear titles like armor. He strips them off like dead skin. They want to label him so they can contain him, categorize him, use him, but he slips out every time. He refuses to be defined by a label that was created before he was even born. His worth doesn't come from rank. It comes from result, from presence, from motion. And because they can't brand him, they can't sell him. That's when the system sees him not as a product, but as a problem. 3. He outgrows every box they build. They'll give him opportunities, positions, praise. And when that doesn't work, they'll offer him comfort, a corner office, a higher salary, a better title. But the Sigma male doesn't chase comfort, he chases growth. And that means he will outgrow every structure built to contain him. He's the guy who gets promoted, then walks out 6 months later. The one who built their best systems, then dismantled them to create something better. He doesn't burn bridges, he just outgrows the road entirely. The system hates this because it feeds on men who stay just comfortable enough to keep producing. The Sigma, he'd rather walk into chaos than die in comfort. 4. He thinks too deeply to obey blindly. Most people follow orders because it's easier than thinking, but not the Sigma. He doesn't just do. He asks, why are we doing this? What problem does this solve? Who benefits? At first, they call it initiative. Later, they call it insubordination. Because the truth is, the system doesn't want thinkers, it wants performers. And the Sigma's ability to ask hard questions makes everyone else's compliance look cowardly. He sees beneath the surface. He questions assumptions. He sees the manipulation hidden in the mission statement, the agenda buried in the values. And once he sees it, he can't unsee it. That makes him unmanageable. 5. He doesn't bond through complaining. In most workplaces, social circles, even families bonding happens through shared complaining. About the boss, the clients, the system, the pressure. The Sigma doesn't play that game. He doesn't vent for validation. He doesn't whine to feel included. He doesn't lower his standard just to blend in. That makes people uncomfortable. Because when he refuses to join the pity party, it forces others to confront their excuses. He solves, he adapts, he detaches. And when others realize he won't be pulled into their cycle of shared suffering, they stop seeing him as one of them and start seeing him as a threat to the group dynamic. 6. He doesn't sell out. Even when it pays, the system will test him. It will offer shortcuts, status, silence in exchange for loyalty. The Sigma male never accepts. He's not interested in fake peace or performance bonuses that come with strings. He doesn't care about impressing the higher-ups if it means compromising his integrity. He'd rather walk out broke than stay rich and buried. That terrifies the system, because it means he can't be bought. And men who can't be bought, they can't be controlled. He becomes the one guy who sets his own price, and most of the time, it's not even for sale. 7. He questions the sacred cows. Every system has sacred cows beliefs you're not supposed to question. Ideas so true they must never be challenged. The Sigma male challenges them anyway. He doesn't do it for clout. He does it because truth matters more than approval, because clarity matters more than comfort. He'll call out the hypocrisy in the company mission. He'll challenge the "this is how we've always done it" excuse. He'll burn the whole rule book if it's written in delusion. And when he does, people don't cheer. They freeze. Because deep down, they believe the same thing, just never had the guts to say it. That's the moment the Sigma shifts from asset to anomaly. 8. He won't sacrifice truth for inclusion. In the system, inclusion is a currency. You get it by saying the right things, believing the safe ideas, and staying quiet when it counts. The Sigma doesn't play that currency game. He'd rather be right and alone than fake and embraced. He doesn't need to be liked. He needs to be clear. So when he speaks a truth that fractures the group illusion, he's not surprised by the cold shoulder that follows. Because he knows the price of truth is often isolation, and he's already comfortable paying it. 9. He doesn't want power. He wants freedom. Power is the system's bait. They offer it like it's the final prize. Stick with us, climb the ladder, get promoted, earn your influence. They dress it up with respect, authority, and admiration, but it's all just another form of leash. The Sigma doesn't chase power, he chases freedom. He's not interested in being the man in charge if it means being chained to something he doesn't believe in. He doesn't want to run the machine. He wants to dismantle it, or at least walk far enough away from it that its gears can't grind him down. He doesn't want to lead a team that's asleep. He wants to create something that wakes people up, even if it means starting from scratch, even if it means walking alone. They'll never understand that. The system is rigged to reward control and punish autonomy. That's why it can't make sense of a man who turns down titles, ignores promotions, and walks away from influence just to preserve his inner peace. The Sigma doesn't want to rule. He wants to roam. He doesn't want power over others. He wants sovereignty over himself. And that makes him impossible to manipulate, because you can't control a man who'd rather lose everything than give up his freedom. 10. He leaves before they can use him. Here's the truth. The system never truly respects you. It studies you, uses you, shapes you into something predictable. And the more competent you are, the more invisible your chains become. Until one day you don't know where the job ends and you begin. But the Sigma never forgets who he is. He watches the system offer praise like a drug, just enough to keep you producing. He sees how they slowly trade your identity for a paycheck, your voice for stability, your instincts for protocol. And just when they think they've got him fully assimilated, he walks. He leaves before the perks become prisons, before the praise turns to dependence, before he starts needing permission to breathe. He leaves before the convenience starts feeling like purpose, before the applause gets louder than his own inner voice. He walks away while he can still look in the mirror and recognize the man staring back, not the product the system tried to sculpt. And when he leaves, it's not with fireworks or a breakdown. It's not a rebellion. It's a release. It's quiet, clean, calculated, final. They call him arrogant, difficult, uncooperative, a loss to the company, a waste of potential. But what they really mean is, he figured it out too fast. He saw the strings. He cut them. He got out before they could own him. And that's why they'll never stop talking about the day he walked out and never looked back. On a final note, they called him a leader, a genius, a top performer, until he stopped smiling, stopped nodding, stopped accepting half-truths. The same system that once celebrated him now whispers his name like a warning. Because the Sigma male didn't rebel to burn it down. He simply became too real to keep playing pretend. And in a world that runs on illusion, that's the most dangerous thing a man can be.